So let's continue radiating love, and no one can share it better than our very own Reverend Alfreda Lanoix. So everyone be prepared. We've got a great message from Reverend Freda. All yours.
Right. Radiate love. I'm very excited about this particular topic because it's important that we know that in order to radiate love, that we have to open up our hearts. In other words, it's about realizing that you are loved. But without the power of knowing that you are loved, then you are not able to radiate that which you are authentically. Chris said it so right that this is a inside situation because you cannot give what you're not aware of. So if you're not aware of that you are loved, then it's difficult for you to radiate because you've not tapped into it yourself. I am love and love is me. So that means that we have to live consciously. We have to always be aware that our love, that I'm unconditional love, and that the love that I have that is within me, I can radiate, I can open up my heart and not allow my heart to be closed because of situations I've gone through, because of experiences I've had, because we are more than the situation. We are more than whatever it is that we have been through. When I was thinking about this topic and I was studying it, what came to mind was I don't know, how old you are, or if you can remember the old-fashioned radiator. I don't know. It used to be like it was a radiator that would heat your rooms in your home. Back in the day, we didn't have central air and central heat. They had radiators, right? And that radiate, and your parents would say, look, don't get close to that radiator because it will burn you. Because you didn't see the heat, you didn't see, the fire coming from it, but that radiator would really make that room toasty and warm. And if you got too close to that radiator, you would get burned, right? And so what I read the radiator would do is it pulls the cold air from the bottom of the room and it passes over the flutes and the air heats up and it rises to the top. Think about that. It pulls from the bottom. It has to go through the flutes and it rises to the top. It circulates the motion that helps to block out the cold air from the windows and it ensures you that the room is going to be toasty and warm. And so, in order to radiate love, our bottoms must not be blocked. Our spirits must not be blocked. Our souls must not be blocked. Our emotions must not be blocked. And what blocks us is because of the things sometimes that we've gone through, the things that we've been taught, the environment that we've grown up in. We've been taught that it's not okay to be gay. We've been taught that you're too masculine, you're too feminine. We've been taught that you're too overweight. We've been taught that the color of your skin, your sexuality. And so when we've been taught these things and we've lived in these environments, somehow we forget that we are loved. Ooh. Just like the sun always is shining all the time. And right now, in June, they call it June gloom. Like, we wake up in the morning and the clouds are out and it's a little cold. But the sun is always shining. It is always doing what it was created to do. And this is the same for us. We are always loved, whether we recognize it, whether we embrace it or not. We let our conditions block us from being able to vibrate the energy. Ooh. Mm. Being loved does not mean that we sometimes or always give love, because the thing about it is that we have free will. And so to radiate love is knowing that no matter what it is that you may encounter, no matter what it is that you may be going through, it has nothing to do with who you authentically are. See, we came here to radiate love. It was from love from which we came. It is to love that we shall return. But in the meantime, we get to experience being love, what that feels like. What does that look like for me? You know, there was a story about the star that said, I am a star. I shine. But the star could not see its light until it went into the darkness. And once it went into the darkness, it was able to see its light. We can't see who we are until we go through different situations and we get to see who we are. We get to see our love. We get to radiate. And sometimes we come up shining. You know, I've had situations where, oh my God, I came through that situation. I'm so proud of myself because, you know, I showed up as love. And then there are those other times when we're not as loving. But the beauty about it is that we didn't come here to judge ourselves, but we came here to evolve and to grow. And I can say, oh, I wish I had shown up different. I wish that I had enough compassion or empathy in myself to be able to give that. I just don't like the way I showed up in that situation. Whew. But you get to continue to evolve and grow. To radiate love is to know, because it allows you the opportunity to say, here's an area that I need to grow in, or here's an area that, you know, I thought I had it together. I thought, you know, that, you know, I was going to show up a different way. But now that I know my capability, this is an area that I need to work on, because I need to examine myself. See, sometimes things show up so that you can examine yourself, so that you can check in with yourself. Because without that, we just live on automatic pilot, and we just go. We just get up in the morning. We don't take the time to check in. We don't take the time to ask ourselves, how are you doing? How are you feeling? What is going on with you? What is it that you need to maybe nurture or take care? Have you told yourself love lately how much you love yourself? Are you being gentle with yourself? Because in a world that we live in, if we continue to look externally, if we continue to look outside of ourselves for someone to give us what it is that we need, you come up short, because people cannot give you what maybe they have not even given themselves. To radiate love is to be accountable. I have to be accountable for all the choices that I make. I have to be accountable that I have not taken the time to nurture myself, to remind myself, to care for myself. Ooh. And so just like that radiator that had the windows, and the heat would escape, and sometimes our windows of desperation is open, or our windows of doubting ourselves. We have so much self-doubt. And I don't care how many people that say, oh my goodness, you can do it. Oh my goodness, you got it. Oh my goodness, you're beautiful. Oh my goodness. The first thing we'll say is, well, that's kind of, if they really knew me. No, if you really knew you, then you would know that you are connected to the source, that you are connected to love, that you are love, and the love never runs dry. And the love is not based off of what you do or do not do. You cannot not be spiritual. You cannot. There is nothing you can do. Woo. And sometimes it's the window of not feeling good enough, being good enough, or the windows of codependency, or the windows of not trusting, and especially the windows of hopelessness. Because what we're dealing with today, with everything political and everything that seems to be taken away from us again, this is just simply a wake-up call that we somehow, got distracted. We somehow thought that he was going to continue to take care of himself and it was okay to be gay and that's all, and we did it, and hooray. But this is just letting us know, no, there's still things to do. There's still doors to open. Change is never easy, but change is always worth it. Ooh. So we've had windows of codependency, not trusting, hopelessness, windows of people pleasing. And that main window, the window of fear. Ooh. Listen, we are unconditional love. And I mean, I struggled with that word. What is unconditional love? And a lot of times, we make examples like, well, my dog has unconditional love. But for me, my love is based off of. But unconditional love is you. Every time you take a condition off of yourself, you just dive deeper into your authentic being, which is love. Which is love. And the more you tap into that, the more you're able to radiate it. Ooh. Unconditional love means that nothing separates me from love, which is who I am. I am love. Love is me. Not what I do, not where I came from, not my degree, not the things that I produce. I am love. Love is me. And sometimes that's one of the hardest things for us to really wrap our minds around, because we have been taught, conditioned, given. Religion says we need to do this and this and this in order to be pleasing in the eyesight of God. You don't need to do nothing to be pleasing in the eyesight of God. When you were created, you were already. Ooh, how are you going to earn something that you were given? How you go? There's nothing you can do. The only thing that you can do is be the love that you are. See, when you recognize it, when you embrace it, when you know it, then you realize there's nothing even to forgive. Woo, that's radical. Because you are here to experiment and experience who you really are. And I've had some experiences, trust and believe. but it goes along with the journey. If I didn't want to have some experiences, I could have stayed where I came from. But the moment that you choose to come and you take that responsibility of coming, we used to say, I didn't ask to be here. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Because when you want to use that excuse, I didn't ask to be here, that means you're giving yourself permission not to be accountable for the choices that you made. Like, I'm entitled. I didn't even ask to be. Yes, you did. Because it's free will. So even in creating you was free will. Didn't nobody force you to be here. You got in line. You was like, my turn, I'm ready. And then you get here and you don't want to be responsible or accountable. Nothing separates from love. It was from love we came to love. We wish you would return. But in the meantime, we get to experience love. It's no good just to be it without experiencing. And so everything you do, you are just simply experiencing who you are. And not every experience you're going to like, no. But you're going to take accountability for it. And you're not going to judge yourself and say, I'm bad, I'm stupid, I'm this, I'm that. You are simply love having an experience. Ooh. What you experience today is not love when you don't experience who you are and accept who you are today. What happens is that when you find yourself in difficult times, when things show up that are difficult, when you find yourself maybe in a relationship and you're breaking up out of the relationship, so you find yourself in these difficult situations. When you understand and really know that you are loved, it might hurt, but it won't break you down because you will understand that the source, which is never dry, that this was just not the person for me right now. This might have been the person for me, but as I've evolved and changed, or as they've evolved and changed, we are no longer in that space. Woo! And you will still radiate love. You will send them off with love. See, that's when you know who you are. You won't wish them any harm. You won't be plotting and scheming and no, you will let them go in love when you recognize that that is who you really are. And when you really know who you are in the difficult times, you shine even brighter. I created a program years ago, and that program was all about, we would give food out. We would go to Skid Row and we would give out food. And the first thing that I would tell the people that were with me is that, be approachable, be kind, be loving. Because it doesn't matter what you're doing. If you're not being it, it defeats its purpose. Be approachable, be loving, be kind. Radiate love. Allow those people to see the love inside of you. Because some of us, we talk about love, but we're so unapproachable. We are so unapproachable. Like just the look on our face tell people, don't come here. Don't you better not say nothing here. I've had a hard day. We use these excuses. Today is not the day. Don't say nothing to me before my coffee. Well, that's not radiating love. That's not recognizing that you are always loved. Ooh. Listen, a radiator that only works in the summertime when it's not needed, what's the use of it? This is a cold world at times. So we have to turn up our love radiator. The colder we feel like the world is, the higher we must radiate love. This is our opportunity for them to experience what love looks like and what love feels like. This is not about tit for tat. This is about like being able to go beyond and allow them to see what love really is all about. This is the time to radiate, to open up our hearts. Sometimes we've closed our hearts, you guys. We've closed our hearts because we've been hurt. We've closed our hearts because we've been rejected, and especially in the gay community. When I was dealing with death and dying, the majority of the people that I would encounter would be people that were rejected because their parents could not step through their own religion, their own stuff to be able to embrace their child. So it's easy to close your heart. It's easy to say, no, I'm not going to let anybody hurt me ever again. It's easy to walk around in the world and say, I don't need anybody because, as soon as you let somebody in, they're going to manipulate me. They're going to It's easy to say, oh, back in 1982, my heart was broken. And so, I'm just going to even though I see other people that I would be really interested in. No. But when you have the courage to open up your heart, to understand that people are doing their best and that you are doing your best, but that the love that you have in you is enough and that it will carry you through no matter what the situation may be. Because sometimes we're stuck in our stories. We got stories and we don't know how to live outside of our story. Who am I without my identity? Who am I without being Black? Who am I without being gay? Who am I without being a woman? Who am I without being a mother? See, those are just labels. We are more than those stories. We are love. That's who I am. I'm love without the label. So if you never ever call me anything, it doesn't matter because I am love. Woo. The key is to not be discouraged. The key is to put in the work that we need to do with ourselves. Like you got to do the work. I tell people they come in for relationship counseling, and I said, well, the easy part was meeting each other. That was easy. Now here comes the real work, because you just can't say I'm in a relationship and allow it to just not be on the front burner. If I'm in a relationship or a partnership, that means now there are things that we need to do. We need to define who we are within this relationship. We need to be able to communicate in this relationship. We need to be able to trust in this relationship. Oh, there's things you need to do. And so as you radiate love, there are things that you need to do. And if you have a blockage or if you have a window that's open, then you need to close this window. Or if you have a blockage, then I need to open up this blockage. If my mother told me I would never be any good, and my mother told me that I was nobody, I need now to take that out, that voice out, and now I need to get the voice of love, which says I am all that I am, and I'm all that I need to be. There's work to do. And when you do the work, you can open up your heart to not only yourself, but to others. Radiate love. This involves being responsible for our choices, for our healing ourselves, and then we're able to help others. To radiate love, when we open up our hearts to ourselves and others, we also open up ourselves to life. And then on this journey, we get to live, we get to experience, and we get to live this beautiful thing called life. Life is not unfair. It's not unfair. No, it's not. You can hear the same birds that I hear. You can see the same ocean that I see. You can have the same wind blow against your face. Life is not fair. What's unfair is when you don't take the time to open up your heart because you have everything that you need in order for you to be who you are and to radiate and shine your love within you. This is internal. This is an inside job. Listen, and whatever's in there is whatever, that's what comes out. So if I haven't done the work and I'm not radiating love, then I'm radiating other things. But it's all up to you. You have the power, and there is nothing outside of you. There is no diagnose. There is nothing outside of you that is greater than the power within. So turn on your light and radiate and shine. God bless you. Thank you.